Over the last few months, there have been a number of new publications that have appeared on the Melbourne scene, one of which is Exit, which you will find in lots of cafes and venues all over Melbourne. And I'm sitting here today with Linzi, the publisher, editor, head of sales, coffee lady, general dog's body. Linzi, how did Exit get started?
It actually began as a quarterly, and then on the advisory somebody else, because there was another product very similar, said, well, why not do it for the gay market as a monthly? And that's how it all came about. And then 8 months of planning, organising, testing the marketplace, all that sort of stuff, and out it came.
Well, how did you get involved in it?
How did I get involved in it? Sitting around with a friend discussing what we could possibly do with our lives, basically, and that's how it all happened.
And you're aiming mainly at the gay market?
We are a gay publication, but so even our first issue we're really proud of because it has breached certain barriers. One of the remarks that our printer made was, that her boss had picked it up and he didn't find it offensive. And from market research, we found that people want to advertise, they want to get involved in the gay market, but they didn't like sex content, things like that. So we thought, well, we just found the niche basically and slotted in between. It's been really well received. One of the delights has been that people are actually reading it from cover to cover, which means that we do have a good content. People are finding it interesting, which I guess if you get back to marketing and stuff like that, there was the need. So yeah, it's been great, really, really good. We had faxes, phone calls after the first week. It was excellent.
This small format is really quite popular now. Why is that, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a format where people can carry it with them. The other magazine that is like us, which, can we mention that on TV? Can we say large? I think the thing is that it's something different. It's a new format, it's small, and as Christopher says, we're camp, we're compact and we're colourful. So, and also too, if you're home and mum and dad don't know or something like that, you can easily just stash it away somewhere where they can't find it. So that's it. There really isn't any reason apart from the fact that it is different. And no doubt it'll be, something else will come along that will sort of outshine this eventually anyway. So, yeah.
What are we likely to find inside?
Being lifestyle, our regular features are, about lifestyle. There's health, fitness, fashion, there's information, there's Bubble, which is TV, which, most of us watch TV. That focuses on, the camperies of TV, like soap operas. We just want to present the information as in a way that is readable. So for October, for example, it is Leather Month. So we're going to, have a focus on people that are involved in the leather scene and, what their lifestyle is about, how you can contact them, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Where did the name come from?
The name was actually born. We have somebody to thank who has a cafe on Commercial Road for that. We couldn't think of anything to call it. And he just looked over the door, saw the word exit and said, why not exit? Because we wanted something that had 4 letters, that was strong, and that's it. So there is no other reason.
Now, this must be the only publication, I think, certainly in Australia, possibly the world, that has a pet as a contributor. How did that come about?
Well, Winnie wanted to get involved, and after biting both our ankles and she refused to eat, she was on a hunger strike, she was very, very upset, and so we had to give her a spot. And look, she's an absolute bitch to work with, as you can imagine, but she wanted to be involved, so we got her involved.
Well, I think that's very broad-ranging of you. It's probably the widest community possible in that case. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.
It started about 1979. Dr. Tom Waddell was the founder. I had just finished winning the World Saddle Bronc Championship and moved to San Francisco. And Mark Brown was working then with the San Francisco softball team. And those two had gotten together at a gay function, and a gay lesbian function, I should say, and came up with the idea, I wonder if there are other athletes besides ourselves, because Tom Waddell was the American decathlon champion representing the United States in the Mexico Olympics. Believe it or not, the first foreign visitor, shall we say, and member was founded. Two of the boys here playing tonight was a woman named Tony, who waited on me at the Alliance Bar in Brisbane, put the beer down and said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "Well, I just finished rodeoing in the bush, and what I really want to do is start a team in Australia." And she said, "Have you met any other teams yet or people?" I said, "No." She said, "I throw the javelin." I said, "When?" She said, "In high school." I said, "Then you're the first one who's going to represent Team Brisbane and Australia in the Gay Games 1. And she showed up with about 12 people from Brisbane. She's the captain of the team. Today she's retired from the team and has a station north of Brisbane. Gay Games 1 and 2 were held in San Francisco 4 years apart. Gay Games 3 was held in Vancouver, and Gay Games 4, New York, Gay Games 5 coming up, Amsterdam.
In 98.
Right. Now it grew from, we didn't know how many were going to show up, the first game, and 1,300 showed up, athletes.
Is that the first one?
The first one. And that amazed us, and from about 12 countries. And we let the word out, and I always traveled. My job was outreach. Excuse me. So we said, my God, it's working. So Gay Games 2, 3,300 showed up. And bands from L.A. and bands from San Francisco, of course. And Mayor Feinstein was mayor of San Francisco, said, "This is wonderful." But we said, wait a minute, we can't just keep this as a San Francisco thing. And Ricky Stryker, one of our past presidents who passed away a few years ago, said, "Paul, why do you travel so much? Why can't we make this a world thing?"
What do the teams need to compete in the gay game?
Well, that's the difference. You don't have to only do your best, let's put it that way. You don't have to qualify with times. Where we differ from the Olympics is they are finished with people once they're finished as a medalist. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're yesterday's mashed potatoes, as we say. It isn't so with us. Our slogan is, you're only to do your best, and that's good enough to be proud of yourself. And the medals are secondary, and where you come from is secondary. The important things are that we all, our lesbian and gay brothers and sisters, have the time of their lives. And then, as they get older, they can still compete, because then you compete in age groups. I can't tell you how proud I am. I won the first Tom Waddell Award, which was given in Vancouver, and I want you to know that I was in tears for 2 days, and I thought, look what we've done, If Tom, and I'm sure he's up there watching us, Waddell would know just how large we have become,
It's become a symbol for togetherness.
Yes, instead of being infamous, we're famous.
Adam, tell me about the swimming carnival. How long has it actually been running?
Well, I've been involved for the past 4 years, but I believe it was going for a few years before I got involved.
What brings you here this evening? Now be honest.
The swimmers.
To watch the sports event?
Yes, yes.
Did you come here last year?
No, I didn't. No, this is my first time.
How did it go?
Not bad, not bad. There are only 3 of us and I came third, but I don't know whether that gets a medal or not.
I answered an ad in the MSO, I think, actually. Team Melbourne said they were looking for volunteers to help with events, and I was a competitive swimmer in the past, and I thought, oh yes, I'll come along and see what sort of help I could give out. And I have fun doing it. It's great fun.
Do you swim yourself?
Yeah, I do.
What type of swimming do you do?
I can do freestyle or breaststroke.
Have a friend that's competing here?
I do actually, yes, Kate.
Was she in the first event?
She was, yeah, she came second in the first one.
Second. We've had one series of events so far. How do you think that went for you?
It was very uplifting experience, yeah.
But the events aren't just for professional swimmers as such. Anybody can participate, is that right?
Certainly, and we encourage participation by everybody. The more bodies we can get out there, the better, actually.
Would you think of competing yourself?
Not these days.
Why?
I'm not a good swimmer.
Can you do dog paddle?
On the bottom.
I'm not a swimmer, so I really admire these people swimming. I can't swim to save my
You
life.
don't think you'd jump in the pool and have a go?
No, I don't think so. Not tonight.
You've just been competing. How did it go?
Oh, it's good.
What was that event?
That was a 50 breaststroke.
Oh, is breaststroke your stroke?
Yes, I can do it.
What's this around your neck here?
Oh, just a pair of binoculars.
Oh, stop.
No.
What do you need the binoculars for?
Well, if you get a bad eyesight, you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's not to get close-ups.
Oh, no, not half.
Do you do some swimming yourself?
Oh, I do actually. We come to Graham Pool. Yeah.
So, what do you think the form is like tonight?
Good. Quite good. It's a bit light on the women though, don't you think?
Is the water cold?
No, it's warm.
Okay.
Cold when you get out.
Cold when you get out?
Yeah.
I'll let you get out and towel off. What sports do you play?
What sports do I...
None. Sex doesn't count. I know you want to sort of go and towel down, but tell me about your togs here.
I got them from LA about a couple of years ago.
From America?
Yeah.
What are your impressions?
Good bodies.
Will you be competing in other events?
The butterfly probably.
Is that a good stroke for you to do?
That's my favourite stroke, yeah. I like to watch.
Started in 1982. Yeah, so it's actually older than the Melbourne Festival. Yeah, so it started, I think, a couple of years before that by a group of artists in Fitzroy who were wanting a platform for independent art, which is actually quite unique in the way a Fringe Festival develops, because mostly Fringe Festivals develop out of an offshoot from a mainstream festival as the alternative to the mainstream, whereas this one has grown up quite separately, which I think is reflective of the actual fringe arts culture of this city anyway, and it is incredibly active in all art form areas, so to me that seems quite a natural building. We've actually chosen, and that's been a tradition for a few years, to run before the main festival, and I think that's proving a positive thing in the fact that it actually gets more profile for the artists, because once the main festival hits, it's actually pretty well inundated right across the media. So we are the first festival to kick in for this stage of the year really, so it actually warms people up to the festival. Well, I mean, I think when you look at some of the content of the work, people might say there's more of a merging, because I think the main festival is actually obviously trying to attract new, young, alternative audiences, like every arts organisation in the world, I think. But the huge difference is that fringe arts are completely independently produced, and I think that's the absolute core nature of it, in the fact that artists are out there taking risks with their own bucks, with their own ideas. It's work that's incredibly current. I mean, it's work that's been produced over the last few months, so I always describe it as a snapshot of the current contemporary arts practice that a group of artists are choosing to present at any one time. And it is only a snapshot because obviously there's so much going on here. There's a huge range of experience this year too. There's a lot of artists who are very experienced, been working for years, that are actually just doing a new work, and then there's other artists that are out there for the very first time, side by side. So in every art form. There's some fantastic shows on right across the festival, like down in St Kilda, at the Economiser building, at the Lower Town Hall, in Fitzroy. You know, there's fantastic spots and different styles of shows. But one of the things I feel really happy with this year is we've actually tried to create a meeting point for the festival. And so the Fringe Backyard is a new initiative where it's really a place where people go and hang out. And it's got this whole, and it's right next to the town hall. It used to be a car park, and now we've turned it into like food and art, and it's colour and mayhem, and it's just fantastic. But it's wild because you come off of Swanston Street and you know how sort of buzzy that is, and you go in there and it's just like relaxed, so relaxed. Well, I mean, TAC are our key sponsors, so, and they have been for a number of years with the Fringe, so the Transport Accident Commission, so that's, you know, like the core of the festival funding. Arts Victoria support the organisation on an all-round yearly basis, which is fantastic, and then the councils kick in a lot as well. So City of Port Phillip, City of Melbourne have put in a huge amount this year, and the City of Yarra. So, and then all the rest of it is just building around getting a whole range of other sponsors that come on to support it. So the whole festival is sponsor based. You need cash as well, you know. It's that whole thing that we've got some fantastic spaces, but then artists, I mean, a lot of the artists working with Fringe really don't have access to any cash at all, you know. They're very, and so the whole thing of actually setting up the production within spaces, you find turns into quite a costly exercise, because you can go in wonderful spaces, but, you know, if it's got no seating and it's got no lighting, and it's like, that turns into big bucks, you know. So yeah, so there's all sorts of different layers that support is required. So yeah, it really is a festival about lots of people actually giving and being generous and helping to make things happen. The dinky caravan, it's so cute, I love it. Because it looks so dinky amongst all these big buildings, that's fantastic. And that was the idea of it really, to have something that just looked a bit like, oh my God, that's different. And the idea of that being that the art doesn't change in Fringe Arts, it's all about independent artists doing what they want to do, you know, in every cultural style. And the caravan is just there getting the information out to people. So lots of people coming along going, what's Fringe? Oh, this looks interesting. Oh, that's quirky. So yeah, it's all about getting more people to recognise what's going on. What we do have down there too for people is we run regular forums every month where people can just drop in. It's one night a week where they can just come and chat to us about, okay, how's the fest? Yeah. And the whole idea is connecting artists to other artists, artists to venues, getting, like you might be doing a show, I'm doing a show, let's share a venue, that sort of thing. So really trying to build up that whole network of support. And we started that this year, and it's really started to work, and people started being in each other's shows, and yeah, it was great. So that's, I mean, I think that's a really good way, and people get to understand what we're about, and that we're not a profit-making organisation or that it's just there for the artists. I mean, that's what the Fringe, the bottom line, it's about supporting artists.
Last thing that I heard you say was not polite. You wished me hell, your face was grey, your mouth drawn tight. The thing that made me go away was not that fight. It's just that I had blame to lay and you were inside. I got my way, but you were someone in your place that wasn't you. I love the thrill, the game, the chase, when it was you. The end of all my charm and grace is overdue. I can't erase that you hate me too. Just told you lies about our fate that made you glow. I took a chance, you took the bait, second in row. I watched the shining dissipate, the shadow grow. And in the dark, I'll shut the gate, I'll be that love. It's getting late, why don't you go? Just let me breathe. Just let me breathe. Just let me breathe. Just let me breathe. Thank you.
Are you meeting friends here?
Yes, I'm waiting for a friend.
And they haven't arrived yet?
No, I'm waiting.
Where do you come from?
Chicago?
Do you live in Australia now?
Yes.
How long have you been living here?
About 6 months.
How do you think the gay scene compares to the scene in Chicago?
I would say Australians are a lot more open about their gayness.
What is it here?
$5 for the new 1996-97 model.
Right.
Or $2 for the traditional yet somewhat stylish $2 ribbon one.
Okay, and where does that money go toward?
It goes to the Victorian AIDS Council.
Hello there, sir.
Hello, babes.
How lovely to meet you.
Thank you, Joel.
You're here at Furball.
Oh, am I? Oh, no, it's the wrong place. Hang on.
This would be state-of-the-art fashion. With the little grey part.
Actually, no, it's your Beaufort Op Shop shoes. All right. Beaufort Op Shop.
Yes.
Are you getting the shoes?
We're going to show the shoes down there, yes. I'm captivated by your vest here. It has many buttons.
It does, it does. It's multifunctional.
But the buttons don't just serve a purpose, they're also decorative. You're looking so smart this evening, here for Furball.
Here for Furball, fantastic.
And you are wearing a little fur.
A little bit of muff.
Is that the idea here, that everyone has a little bit of fur?
Well, I'd hope so. We want to all have a bit of fur, don't we?
Out in your finery?
Yes, but you see, I swallowed a fur ball, so I think that's why my voice is so husky.
Perhaps you could register and be part of the performance.
That's a thought.
Furball Gala. What do you expect is going to happen this evening?
Well, it's cabaret. Judy Kennelly. Should be fun.
I'm just on holiday in Melbourne at the moment.
Where do you come from?
Northern New South Wales.
Oh, and how did you hear about... We'll have to move up in the line a little. How did you hear about this event?
I've got some friends that are here tonight. Yeah. So
Tell me about your frock.
Oh, what would you like to know?
Where did you get it?
Oh, actually, it was a bridesmaid's dress.
Goodness, I can't believe you've worn it. What are your impressions?
Interesting to say the least.
I love it so far. Heaps of variety, heaps of talent.
As one of the performers here this evening, what's the vibe like out on that stage?
I've got to tell you, it is just magnificent. But the funniest thing is that we're all killing each other backstage. There's fights going on. People are clawing each other's eyelashes. I can't tell you, it's heaven.
I'd rather talk about yours. I mean, look at this.
Oh, look, I'm falling...
That stuff, because, you know, you get the line.
I'm a bit worried because it's falling apart.
Oh, look, I mean, come on, falling apart, there's not much to this.
You didn't make that.
I made it myself.
I
got lipstick on my too.
This is a very beautiful crystal here.
Oh, thank you.
What does it represent?
It's an amethyst crystal.
Which gives you good health?
Gives you good everything, darling.